time now to review headlines of today's newspapers.
All right, we'll start with the newspaper of record this day on Saturday. Let's take it from top to bottom. The window story, Tambua, EFCC can't intimidate me, says Ordeal plots to silence him. That story is on page 5 of today's newspaper. We've seen in some posts where he says that I don't want my sins forgiven. I won't join the ruling party, because of the joke that once you move to the ruling party, all your sins are forgiven. But there are also those who are saying that account, for your time while you were governor. If there are issues that EFCC is investigating you on, don't politicize it. Go and answer to them. Basically. So it says that it won't be silenced, but of course we will see how it goes. EFCC is not a court. The case will end up in court, hopefully, if EFCC proceed with what is happening. But of course, there are those who are saying, how come it is the opposition politicians that you are going after? A few other stories. Inflation drops marginally to 21.88% amid lower food energy prices. That's on page 6. We had a discussion on that earlier.
Yes, we did.
On the program. Similarly, we had a discussion on the next story, Trump-Putin end meeting. Hope rises for ceasefire. But the latest development is saying that it looks like everybody walk home empty-handed. And people are waiting to see what Trump will do after this. But I also, for me, commend the fact that at least he's saying that he's at least showing effort, to have the war, end. But then, you know how it is. You can't bully another bully. Particularly the bully that has the second largest nuclear power in the world. There's a way that you talk to a man like that, so that the only thing you have would be to say, okay, we'll do more. We'll tighten the nose as far as what's it called? Sanctions are concerned. But are the sanctions affecting Russia? Is there a way that we can discuss that? Okay, you already control 20% of Ukraine. What can we give? What can we negotiate? But it doesn't look like we're there yet. But at least this was a good move in Alaska that Trump and Putin were able to sit together. Maybe the next meeting will involve Zelensky and see what they're able to do.
All right. Before you move on, just to comment on the Trump and Putin meeting. Interestingly, there was Hillary Clinton was on a podcast, and she said that if President Trump is able to secure a deal in this case, that she will hand him a Nobel Peace Prize.
No, she will nominate him.
She will nominate him, rather, to be handed a Nobel Peace Prize. Correct. And for a lot of people, it seemed more like a diplomatic show. That's what this entire meeting has looked like, as opposed to a policy breakthrough, because a lot of people did anticipate that it will end in this way, with Trump himself acknowledging that there is no deal until there is a deal. So most likely, it's now going to head over to the Ukrainian President Zelensky to get it done, to make sure that, there will have to be further negotiations. And it's no longer going to be between two nations now. It's going to be a trilateral conversation. But, this was...
As it ought to be.
As it ought to be, yes. So this conversation was necessary. This conversation was important. But again, was there ever going to be a deal? What was the reason for this?
You never can tell, given that at least Trump has succeeded in about 4 or 5 other conflicts that is able to, bring some sanity into them. I think I totally agree with Hillary Clinton, even though she put about 2 caveats as to why she was making that proposition. But if Trump succeed, maybe this year, maybe next year, to get Russia and Ukraine, to come back to common sense, particularly Russia, I think that he would deserve the Peace Prize, undoubtedly. But of course, a few other stories on the cover of this day. APC, ADC, PDP show strength in today's by-elections. Polls hold in 12 states, 16 constituencies, with 3,553,659 voters participating. That doesn't sound like it's a huge number in 12 states. Police assure of
that's the
adequate
thing.
security. INEC complies with court judgment, says SDP will participate in polls. So we'll be monitoring what happens across the 12 states.
I'm concerned that we are getting to a point where there is even more political fatigue than there was before, especially when it comes to the smaller elections. You know, we've had so much conversation about the elections, but notice how it's always geared towards 2027, the presidential elections, because that would then determine how the governorship elections play out as well. But where is the place for things like the by-elections as well? When we talk about defections, coalitions, and alliances, where do these by-elections fit in? It seems like we're so focused at the top of the pyramid that we leave these smaller elections to just be handled by however it happens.
Local government elections.
You know,
the small fries.
The small fries. We just let. But what we don't even realize is this is actually where it begins. Getting the right people.
Get it right here.
We will get it right at the top. You know, so it's important that, you know, we do not. I mean, I really don't even blame Nigerians as well, because even the political class, all movements, all conversations are geared towards 2027. We're not seeing anyone saying something like, "Oh, I defected because of the state of the local governments in my state to do better."
All right.
So
before we go to the next paper, the lead story of this day actually, experts hail $346 million US-Nigeria arms deal as boost for terrorism fight. I think that this is an important development, given that this is happening under President Trump. If you recall, at the last time when he was in office, it was under Trump that we also had the advantage of having
Zenith Bank at 35 just before
Zenith Bank
we
at 35.
end that was
Isn't that beautiful? The vice president used to be an executive director or something like that, you know, at that
This
bank.
event happened in Lagos.
He was there to celebrate with
yesterday.
Punch,
It was
very
such
quickly
an important
before
event.
we go. I think we'll
just take the major story on the Punch newspaper, the flight fury inside the story of Kwanwon and Emanson's pardon. And then an interesting one, homosexuality scandal rocks the Nigerian Catholic Church. How Reverend Father sexually abused me. And that is according to a former altar boy. That you can find on pages 22 and 23.
And then for those who like celebrity news, Toke
is expecting a baby. Yes, that's a story that has been met with a lot of...
It triggers question about lovers' identity.
That is a very, very ridiculous headline for a woman.
What do you mean ridiculous?
It's ridiculous in the sense that this is a woman who is having her first child and has expressly talked about her excitement. And the best that Punch could come up with was ask who her baby daddy is in 2025. I think that is
Have you read the story?
It doesn't matter. The headline says it all.
Based on the headline?
Of course, because that's what people would see. We're in 2025,
I'm sure that the
guys.
Punch editor of a weekend
We're in
would have a beautiful response for you.
We need to evolve, okay?
We need to evolve.
On.
That brings us to the end of the morning show today. Thank you for watching and do stay safe. I'm Steve Ayorinde.
Let's evolve, everyone. I'm Kachi Ofia, and from my entire team here in Lagos, Nigeria, enjoy the rest of your morning and, of course, the rest of your day.